Morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second live meeting, for week 2. And Nelly is moving the slide. That's the first slide, and we're going to the second slide, as I guess everybody here knows us by now. That's the coordination team. And this is a quick reminder of the proposal expected outcomes. And I'm sure you're all familiar with the proposal expected outcomes. Attendance at live meetings is our first thing, then the weekly tasks that you have already started, and some of you successfully finished the tasks for week 1. The participation in your collaborative tasks with your team, badges and the certificate of participation, and work on your EVO proposal. And we are moving to slide number 3. Next slide, Nelly, please. And here's a quick reminder of the format of the EVO proposal. And we had it also in week 1, so I'm sure you all remember that the EVO proposal has the title, the abstract, that's number 2, then the target audience and the sponsors, and the sponsors are the audience is what you already know, and the sponsors is what you can still work on. Hello, Rose. Week by week outline of your session, communications in the media, moderator profiles, and I guess all teams have already completed their profiles. If you would like to add something, there's still time, and terms of agreement are number 7. This is the format of every EVO proposal, and it will stay in the slides for everybody who would like to check it again. And we are moving to the next slide. Nelly, please. Congratulations time, and I would like to invite somebody from week 1 team of moderators, if you would like to say something about week 1 in our canvas. And here on this slide you can read what you did, what we all did in week 1. Team 1 moderators, if you would like to add a word or two.
Yeah, I can say a few words there. So we've had lots of discussion, over 160 comments in the introductions forum, which was great. So everybody got to know each other and found out a little bit more about the other person. We also introduced ourselves as coordinators and as moderators of sessions. So that was good. A lot of discussion has been going on about netiquette, which is excellent. And we're hoping that everybody implements it in their own sessions. And we've had some sharing of Google Docs, a little bit more collaboration needs to happen inside of those. So many of them are still blank with no comments. So that's where the collaboration should start. The team members should collaborate inside the Google Doc with comments, suggestions, questions, etc. And let's see, I think that's about it. And we need to talk a little bit about this survey, I believe.
Yes, thank you, Christine. It was lovely to see so much collaboration, so much adding to discussions. And of course, in week 1, we had that survey, and here are the results. 29 participants out of 43 participated, 43 enrolled in our Mod PD, 9 new and 20 returning moderators, and a majority of us are classroom teachers and university professors as number 1. Nelly, our next slide. The slides will stay in Canvas, so everybody will be able to go back to these slides and see the results of the survey. 65.5% of us have intermediate e-learning experience. As you can see, 24 out of 29 advanced moderating experience, which is good for us and for the success of our sessions this year. Next slide, please, Nelly. 14 out of 29 moderators use Moodle, 12 use Canvas. And what we would like to learn more about are video recording tools, followed by live virtual rooms, Canvas, wikis, and quiz platforms. So this is what you said, what we said. Moderators who participated said we would like to learn more about. Next slide, please, Nelly. And the majority are familiar with copyright guidelines, but still 44.8 of moderators need to learn more about copyright. Also, participants want to learn about how to engage their own participants. That's what you said in this survey. These are the results of the survey, and we are ready for week 2. Christine, would you like to say more about the survey?
No, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If you would like to comment, feel free to raise your hand or interrupt me. In week 2, this week we have our objectives, and Nelly, I guess our next slide is the objectives. No. More about week 2. Yes, more about week 2, an introduction. This is a relevant week to continue collaborating. Christine reported about the collaboration in week 1, and in week 2, it's the week for to continue our work on Google Docs and refining our proposals, collaboratively engage in logo design, and learn about the relevance of avoiding plagiarism and citing our work. And now, next slide, please. Here is the page in Canvas, where you can find all the objectives and all the links to the activities. And you will see the links to team collaboration, to work on your logo, and the syllabus for weeks 2 and 3 of the sessions, and working on open access and free readings. There are discussions for all of you who can see better than I can. Discussions are, luckily I know what it says on the page. Results of the team's collaboration, discussion on online moderation, and the discussion on copyright guidelines, and also reflection, and a reflection activity on copyright again, and one collaborative discussion towards the end of the page. This is the page of our Canvas Mod PD, so everybody will be able to go to that page and from that page on into week 2. Next slide, please. Christine, could you please tell us more about the management process we planned for our collaborative work in week 2 again, same as in week 1? Thank you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about this. Thank you, Sonia. The collaboration in our session on the session proposal, and then later on the online space in Canvas or Moodle or some other space, should follow the management process. And this is based on the theory in business, which actually translates very well into practice in our EVO Mod PD and also later in the EVO session. So we start with planning, and you all have already done that. If you haven't, please start setting up some regular live meetings and record them if possible. posting an agenda for everyone to know what the blueprint is of the meeting, and also adding to the meeting, adding some points as necessary, some comments to the agenda. That is really good collaboration. Because what you want to do, and several of you have noted that you would like to get more information on how to get input from other team members or from participants in your sessions later. So you want to engage people, you want to involve them, and this is one way to involve your own team members. Get them started to add to the planning, and that's by adding information to the agenda document. Then organize your team. Set up a workspace for your team, and most of you have already reported on that. It could be WhatsApp, it could be Facebook Messenger, it could be Discord, it could be Slack, it could be any number of areas where you collaborate in social media and just discuss things outside of the Google Docs. So some space is really necessary for that. But then in addition, you should have a Google Drive area for your collaboration, just dedicated for that, and folders within that Google Drive where you deposit slideshows, for example, that you're working on for the session later, or other items that you're planning on. Divide up the tasks among the team members. So ask who would like to do what. You know, we all have our own skills and expertise. So, you know, go with the expertise and ask for volunteers to sign up. Do set some deadlines. And that is basically how you staff the different roles on your team. And then it gets to directing and leading. Directing is an old term, but we mean leading or motivating. So this is up to mostly to the lead moderator, but not only, you know, everybody can motivate everybody else. So make sure you get everyone involved and stay involved. And if somebody is reluctant to be involved, draw them out somehow. Praising accomplishments is always a good way to do it. It's volunteer work, so praise is absolutely necessary to keep going, and set some deadlines. Deadlines are motivators too. Controlling here is an old term for monitoring and evaluating what is happening in the document or in the session. Please check on the progress of what is going on, what has been done, what has not been done, what's missing. That is often something that the lead moderator needs to do. Monitoring performance of the team members and what has been done, because ultimately the lead moderator is responsible for this to happen and also for the quality. And that is a very important part of the controlling function in management. You want to make sure you have as few errors as possible. You want it to be of high professional standards. And if there are issues, corrections need to be made, and either the team members make the corrections or you make the corrections. So that's the management process as business translates into EVO in practice. And this is in teaching. I use this in teaching all the time. And as director of my program, this came in very handy. Thank you, Sonia. Moving on.
Sonia, you're muted.
Thank you, Jane. Here are the tasks that are within your team collaboration on the proposed EVO session in week 2. This again is the page screenshot from the page in Canvas, and you can see that what we have is the live meetings and the proposal Google Doc. We are moving on because there will be more about the live meetings on this new slide. Our suggestion for the live meetings: use one of the web conferencing tools and prepare an agenda, and use the world clock event time announcer for the participants. That's more or less what we heard before from Christine, but again, as you can find this on our Canvas site. Team collaboration on the proposal. Collaborate in this week on creating the EVO session logo. I have seen when so far all teams have a sort of logo, but this week is the time if you would like to work more on your logo, if you would like to change things as a team. And you collaborate on refining, revisiting the syllabus, and then add free readings, citations to the proposal. In this week, you work more or less on weeks 2 and 3 in your session. We are moving on to the next slide.
I just wanted to mention, Sonia,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
But I think Canva is great to create logos, and you can collaborate on Canva.
Yeah, as a team, yes, you
as
can
a
have,
team, exactly.
but I'm not sure in Canva, they are planning some changes, but that's not yet, I think.
They made some
made changes. They
They
did.
made,
They
threw me out.
already,
I don't
Yes.
have rights
Yes.
anymore.
Mhm,
now
mhm.
we're not
They took
free.
away.
We cannot use the free resources. You
Uh-huh.
have to be from a K-12 school to do that.
But you
Okay.
can still collaborate. That's the thing with,
Mhm.
individual images,
Yeah.
not as a
I've-
team, but you can just add each other to the logo and then just work on it.
Yeah, I remember some messages, but it didn't change anything for what I do in Canva, so I I can't remember now. Okay, thank you. Canva is great. And here are some tips on using the Google Doc for team collaboration. A lot of people said in a chat that they find Google Docs very useful. So if you would like to comment, to add to these tips, feel free to add now or in our discussions in Canvas. If anyone would like to say a few words about how to use Google Docs, what you find useful, if you would like to add to what we put on this slide. I mean, to implement suggestions by
I
the
have a
team.
brief comment there, Sonia.
Yes,
And that is based on what I have reviewed in the links to the Google Docs that have been shared, and thank you
you
for
mean
sharing
in team?
them.
You mean in week 1?
In week 1, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
If it would be great if we had these suggestions made by the reviewers right at the top of the Google Docs, so that whenever we go in and the participants in Mod PD go in to look for things, they can see what was said and, and also follow the collaborations around changing those, implementing the suggestions.
Yeah, a very useful feature comments or font colors and checklists to schedule better your tasks on your proposal. If anyone would like to add.
Well, may I?
Yes, sure, Glenda.
Well, something that I liked that I'm not sure if it always existed or I've discovered is that you can also tag someone with their emails. So you can say so add, and then so that person can follow it and know he or she's been asked about something.
Nice.
And in the past, I just put the name, but
comment.
if they saw it, it was who knows?
Yeah,
But now
just-
it's like they know they've been tagged in the comments, so it's easier to follow.
You mean you can tag, you suggest it's a good idea to tag a team member or coordinator if you would like the person to see your comment and respond more quickly. Yeah, thank you,
Exactly.
Glenda.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Glenda. We can move on. Thank you. And the results of the team's continued collaboration on the proposal will be shared with us in your response. You can see the page and you can read how. Okay. So we share the results of the collaboration throughout the week. And Nelly, please. Doris would like to say more about the logos, if any of the teams are considering changes in their logo. Doris? Where's Doris? Okay. Anyway, if Doris...
Sorry, I was I was mute. I was
Okay.
trying to find
to unmute.
Yeah. Okay, so if you visit the page in Canva, you will find a lot of resources there that will give you ideas on how to create this logo for your session. Some of the tools are, again, Canva, like Nelly mentioned before, or also Logo Maker, Adobe Express, and Free Logo Design. Also, you have there some examples and walkthrough on how to do it. Now, what things to consider? What are the things that you should consider when designing the logo? Is that you want to have something that is unique, something that reflects the spirit of your session, and also something that it can be adapted, because probably you're going to love your session so much, it's going to be so successful that next year you're going to be with us again. So maybe the same logo, or maybe you will work on something related to your previous proposal. So it's something that you can adapt and keep on the tradition. This is something that we have been doing with Immerse collaboration, and I'm sure that Nelly and all of the returning presenters have done that before, and it is useful. Also, the appropriateness, okay, if for you want, if you are working with children, you know, your logo reflects who you are working, you are teaching for, or working together for. And timeless, again, something again that can be reused in or improve for sessions. So, well, Nelly, we can come on. If you have any questions, you know, have you had the chance to work on them already? Because some of the sessions already have some logos.
I've noticed
if you have something to share, please. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say we have quite a lot of new logos this year, and they're all beautiful. But if the teams would like to work more on their logo, these are very good tips. And a good logo helps a lot when you advertise your session, and a good logo is obviously a plus if you would like to offer your session next year, if your session is not just for 1 year, and I hope all these sessions will reappear next year again. Be proposed again. In week 2, we will be reading and discussing online moderation. We are all here to be online moderators for our sessions, and it's a very good idea to read more and to share what we've learned, share questions, share our expertise with other future moderators. As we've learned in our survey in week 1, quite a lot of us have advanced experience, have experience in online moderation, and the week 2 is the time to share our expertise and to ask questions if there is a part of our future job as moderators that we would like to learn more. Quite a lot of reading in this week, and you can also offer more articles. If you have some good ones, you can suggest new readings, of course, in our discussions. We can move on.
There is a question in the chat.
Yes, sorry, I missed it.
This is Rav. He says, if we have already collaborated before submitting the proposal, do we need to collaborate again?
Well, we are here to collaborate. If you have all your answers, maybe you can help others reach their good decisions. You can help other teams, and maybe through these readings and through all this collaboration, you will get some new ideas. It's a perfect time to revisit your proposal, and maybe you can have some new ideas to make some tiny changes in your proposal. Anyway, these 5 weeks are the weeks for collaboration and for getting ready to offer our sessions. So yes, this is the time for collaboration. Yes, Christine.
I could add something to that. If your team, Ravi, is already finished with the Google Doc proposal and has implemented any suggestions made by the reviewers, then it would be time to start on your online space. And I know for my team in DBP, we started long ago on the online space, and this is our 3rd time, but there are so many things that need changing, that we want to change. So just get a head start on your online space and collaborating there. So collaboration will continue.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
getting everything ready there. Getting your online space ready for the session is a huge piece of work. So you might want that too. Plus, here in the Mod PD, there are plenty of interesting discussions, and we all can learn from one another and improve even more.
And copyright, the slide that you have right there, copyright and avoiding plagiarism is really, really important. We did have some infractions last year, so we definitely want to make sure that we do not repeat those errors this year. And everybody needs to know, everybody needs to be on board with following proper copyright guidelines.
Yeah, true. Thank you, Christine. And we can move on. Thank you. We have collaborative discussions in the part, if you remember from the first slide about the objectives, with the objectives, when I mentioned the collaborative discussions and the reflection. One is in Jamboard and the other is Padlet. I'm sure you're familiar with both tools. They are quite easy to use. Jamboard is the opportunity to reflect on copyright and plagiarism. After you've done your reading, you add sticky notes and you read other moderators' messages. There are brief reflection. There will be brief reflections on copyright and avoiding plagiarism, all in one Jamboard, so that we can have everybody's messages in one place on one board. And the other one is Padlet. Again, a very easy, intuitive tool to use, where we can have one asynchronous conversation on copyright, 2 or 3 sentences. Again, when you add your contribution, your message, you will be able to read other moderators' messages, and that will keep our conversation going on Padlet. and we can move on to your questions and suggestions. If you have a question or suggestion or would like to give some feedback, either on week 1 or our plans for week 2, now it's time to raise your hand, to turn on your microphone, and to participate. Are there any messages in the chat? I can't see it at the moment.
There are
No.
comments,
Okay.
and the questions are already been
Answered.
answered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe like, how did you feel during the week? You went through the activities, and are there any takeaways?
I would love to hear.
Okay, there is a question by Ravi. He says 2 sticky notes on Jamboard means just 2 to 3 sentences.
Yeah, you will see the task in Canvas. It's towards the end of the list of tasks. There are clear instructions there how to participate, what to do. Here is just a comment on the task in Canvas. There's that activity and the instructions how to take part.
I think Ravi's asking how long the comment should be on Padlet or Jamboard. Yes, it should be a fairly short comment there, because yeah, you don't have much space in those sticky notes, and they shouldn't be too long. So 2 to 3 sentences would be good, I think. And you know, if you have more to say, then go to the discussion forum itself and post a comment there, Ravi.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Of course, if you think of a question, we have our Canvas questions and answers. There is a forum. You can ask questions, and your moderators for week 2 will leave a reply there.
I have a question. You said to record our meetings. What should we use to record the meetings? I've never recorded a meeting.
That depends what platform you're using for your meetings as a team. Most platforms have an option to record. So, and it depends on how big your team is. I guess there are teams of just 2 or 3 moderators, and there are big teams. In big teams, especially, some moderators probably won't be able to join the team during every meeting or for the whole duration of the meeting. So it's a very good idea to record your meeting. Also, in a small team, I like, if I have time, when I have time, to watch the recording, and then to go through all the ideas we went through, so I make better decisions. It depends on the team. It depends on what the agenda for the meeting is. It's for you to decide. Today we have this meeting in Zoom, and we are recording, and we'll put the recording in Canvas for everybody who couldn't join us. Or
so can I ask how it's being recorded? By a third party, like software, or through Zoom itself?
Zoom has that meeting. You just click on record the meeting, and some other platforms, it depends on the platform. Platforms that I use usually have that option. There is somewhere to click to record.
I can make a suggestion there too. It was mentioned that some people like Big Blue Button and have used Big Blue Button. And that is actually built into our Canvas course in Mod PD, and any Canvas course that you use. Look down on the left navigation column, and you will see Big Blue Button. That is a built-in recorder of meetings with video, screen sharing, whiteboard, everything. So I can only recommend it. And we had considered using it before, and I posted a comment about that. One of our moderators in Africa was not able to, it cut in and out. And so we decided not to use Big Blue Button for our big live meetings, but Zoom instead. Now that was last year or 2 years ago. We could revisit that. Big Blue Button is a great option. It's built right in, and all you do is you click the record button.
Because I use Big Blue Button or use Big Blue Button every day for the past 3 years. Now I'm no longer hybrid, so there's no need for the Big Blue Button, but I'm quite familiar with it. And it's like, you know, when you love something, that's basically it. I love using Big Blue Button, but I'm not sure about the recording because I used to record sessions and keep it within the Moodle that I was in, never on TESOL. So those are things that I'd have to iron out prior.
Yeah, you might want to try that and see. That's what I was wondering about too, whether it works or not. But there are other free, you know, you don't have to pay for these live meetings. I think Zoom now is quite limited. They're
only 40 minutes.
They're
or 30.
they're making it even worse. I don't know. Somebody mentioned that there's some other restrictions, but you can use Jitsi. Jitsi is open source, JITS, Jitsi. It's free. You can use Google Meet, which is free. You can use Teams. With Google Meet, you need to record yourself. So you need to screen share in order to record. And there are lots. You can use Screencast-O-Matic, Loom, which is free, but they only have something like 10 to 20 minutes. So you need to redo it, you know, to stop the screen sharing when it ends after 10 minutes and then start again, which is not a big problem. So yeah, it's hard to get free live virtual rooms these days. Everybody wants to make a living, so they're charging us.
Yeah. And some people like me, I usually use Microsoft Teams because I have it for free at my school. And a lot of people I know use what they usually use for their work. And they have a free account, teacher's account there. So we all plan as we can.
And I just posted a note that I was able to get a conference started in our Canvas Mod PD course on Big Blue Button. So I'll keep trying to make sure that it still works properly, and I'll let you know, but so far it looks fine. Yeah,
on the forum or during our next meeting next Sunday. So we'll look into it. Okay, we can move on.
There was a question in the chat box.
Oh, sorry.
I think by Beatrice about she's in person with her her partner, so they are in person. So, and she was asking if she needs to record the session.
And if I guess not for us. The recording is for the team to have it to be able to get back to what they discussed, or maybe if somebody is absent from the meeting.
I think it's just two. I don't know, Beatrix. I just remember that it was her and her partner and just two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was raising my hand, but with my camera off.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because Angela and I work at the same university, and it's possible for us to meet 1 hour earlier before we start classes. Thankfully, we begin classes at the same time. So we prefer to meet, work together, and then we go to classes. That makes things easier for us. So I was wondering, if we are both together, we don't need to have this kind of recording.
No, but you're just lucky. Lily's is in Canada. I'm in Croatia, 2 continents. So we cannot
Yes.
meet in person.
And the time zone too.
Beatriz, Beatriz, I think the recordings will be great when you are actually giving the session in February and you have all the people there, and then that's where you record it. So the ones that are missing can catch up later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
and
it.
I just wanted to say that Andrea and we work together, but we always do it through some kind of live, like inter communication type of deal. So we've used Big BBB through Tatala. We've used, help me out here, Andrea. What's the name of the one on the Moodle?
Go Branch.
Yes, Go Branch
Branch.
we've been using, but we've never recorded our sessions because they could be lengthy. And we usually meet on Friday nights because we have no life. No, I'm just kidding. And like Andrea is in Argentina and I'm in Canada, so it's quite a distance. Can't be in person, and everything we've done, we've always done together and worked together. Even that Google Doc, we do it live and together and throw out ideas. One's typing or the other one takes over the typing, and we just write things down together. And that's why we love Google Docs. Like it was our first go-to, and it's like our whiteboard.
Thank you for sharing. That's
Love
beautiful.
that. So it's like being in the same room.
I have another suggestion. What I use in my agendas is, and my fellow coordinators have seen my agendas. I tend to add points in different colors to the agenda so that if somebody misses the meeting, and we had a 2-hour meeting yesterday, which makes for a very long recording, especially if someone has to watch it and sit there for 2 hours to watch it without being able to contribute much. So it's sometimes easier to summarize notes on an agenda, so the other person doesn't have to sit through a meeting for 2 hours. But it may not always work.
Oh, if they can choose, read or watch. Thank you, Christine. That was really useful. Read or watch if you cannot meet, but meetings are a very good way to go on with your collaboration. And we are moving on with our meeting. Nelly, please.
One more comment here.
Oh.
If you have noticed in Zoom now, there is a summary auction and an AI companion. Well, at least in my side of on my bar in Zoom. And this is a way to collect a summary of the exchanges in the chat and also what is being said in the. I tried that with my students, so that's something new and cool to notice. I don't know, Nelly, if you have noticed that before.
Oh, I haven't noticed. Good to know. Thank you, Doris. That brings us to the end of today's meeting. If there are no more comments or suggestions or questions, I will...
On that note that she just said, sorry to interrupt, those 3 dots, you can also save the entire chat, which I usually do, so I can go back through whatever I missed, because if you're paying attention, sometimes it's hard to multitask. Yeah, so those little 3 dots at the bottom of the chat, you can save chat, and anybody can do that if it's allowed in Zoom. And also in Big Blue Button, which is why I love Big Blue Button.
Thank you, Helena, for
And I'm not
requesting
sure
that I add the AI.
I'm not sure if we can do that in Go Brunch.
I don't know, really. It's time for our photo together. And that will be our last activity in today's meeting. Doris, will you please take the photo?
Yes.
First of all,
So
let's ask
everybody look at the
everybody to
little bird and say
open your
cheese.
cameras.
Cameras, please. If you have a camera, please open your camera.
Okay,
It's time
yes,
for...
waiting for everybody to... So smile and we say peace. Yes, this is important now. We need peace, a lot of peace. The world is going through difficult times. So it's a chance for everybody to reflect a little bit on that too. So peace again. One more time, everybody get your, we are for peace. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, here we go. There. Thank you. I'm going to
Thank you,
share it in the
guys.
chat so everybody can get it also. There it goes.
Thank you,
So
everyone for attending. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, coordinators, for these beautiful slides and for